Love of God, don't try this at home. Witnessing man's best friend in a life-threatening situation is incredibly upsetting. So when shocked passers-by saw this poor dog was in trouble, their instincts were to help. A woman jumps in to help. Although brave, it's not something we would recommend. The RNLI advise calling for the dog from a place it can easily scramble out, or ring 999 rather than leaping in yourself. What this canal-side drama needs is an amazing superhero, a man in tights, or a man in pants, just as good. Finally, they reach safety, and the lucky pup is reunited with its relieved owner, and our amazing heroes can get out of those wet clothes, or actually into some clothes. The next rescue is absolutely staggering. An epic struggle. 2 warring bucks in an impressive display of skill, power, and getting awkwardly stuck? The buck stops here as the dappy duo have literally locked horns. Whoever attempts to unchain this tizzy twosome must really come with a soft touch. Or a giant chainsaw. Worryingly, a would-be rescuer's gone straight to Plan D, injecting some Bucks fizz into the situation. Really, is there no other way? This would be a bad time to make any sudden movements. I said don't move! Is this chainsaw massacre complete? Great! The horns are off. Not so great. That's not how you spell separation, but we'll forgive their tiny typo. Well, that was nail-biting, wasn't it? And there's plenty more where that came from, so don't you go anywhere. The best of humankind will always strive to save an animal in danger. And for every heroic act of bravery and heartwarming tale of kindness, these days there is always someone else willing to film it and put it on the internet. So sit back in the safety of your armchair, put your feet up and watch our next selection of amazing animal rescues. Now, a maroon deer gets a lift on a kayak. Don't say we don't spoil you. An adventurous kayaker caught on camera has amazingly jumped from his floating boat into choppy waters to seemingly save the life of a helpless drowning baby deer. But if not played carefully, surely both could be in trouble. Another member of the sporty squad has responsively paddled forwards to help his now clearly besotted friend as he continues to protectively cradle the doe-eyed animal. The daring salvation of the troubled deer has been more than worth it as the outstanding hero of the hour gracefully paddles on with the little animal he's become so incredibly fond of. Aww. Next up, somewhere out there, Harry Potter is waiting for his mail. Well, who's here? A not-so-wise owl has somehow got its claws in a twist. He looks like he's smashed pretty hard into that wire fence. This supportive lady will carefully need to declaw the wide-eyed birdie. But does she have a method in mind, or is she going to wing it? With the aid of some tough-looking pliers, the not-too-fussed owl allows the helpers in. Frankly, as it's stuck at such an unforgiving intersection, it doesn't really have any other option. That's one wing successfully out. Yet I feel this ungrateful night owl needs to put a smile on its beak. They're only trying to help. This patient bird of prey now looks like it's praying as the lady's not loosening her grip on those fearsome talons. But freedom, it's gonna be owl right.
Okay, pass me a towel, please, quick. Put it over his head.
For the crow in this next clip, a rescue is a bare necessity. A day tripper is impulsively capturing a brown bear, one of nature's most terrifying beasts, discovering an unlucky crow that has unfortunately fallen into the enclosure's moat. The enormous bear is clearly very interested in the struggling bird. With no easy way of getting out of the bear's bathwater, this frightened crow needs a miracle. To be honest, this is intense stuff. Yet the huge bear surprisingly comes to the drowning crow's rescue. Less grizzly bear, more care bear. How do you thank a bear that saved your life? If you're a shell-shocked crow, you don't. Now, a gentle giant gets a helping hand off the beach. Let's roll. A plagued humpback whale is seen tragically swept inland. Onlookers must surely do whatever it takes to get this mammoth creature back out to sea before it succumbs to the suffocating shoreline. This is going to be quite the challenge as concerned men move in to shift this wide load. Yet it's proving quite the fishy riddle as the washed-up whopper is going nowhere. Surprisingly, the mammal is given an unlikely turn and likely its first ever roly-poly back into the water. Unusual, but it seems to be doing the trick. They've quite literally pushed the boat out. A first-rate rescue. Well done, Beach Brigade. Next for a real coup, as we try to establish why this pigeon crossed the road.
Wait there, birdie. I won't let you die.
The understandably frantic filmmaker seems worried for the bird's safety. Frankly, the pigeon looks more like a sitting duck. Unquestionably, the Hell's Angel wannabe looks like he's putting his life on the line for this pigeon. Come on, which of us wouldn't run into the middle of the manic road to help, a sooty pigeon? In some ways, a bit of a team effort there, and salvation. Looking as safe as well as can be expected, I guess. The dirty birdie is fortunately rescued from that grim and grotty-looking road, and the pigeon comes home to roost in a grim and grotty-looking alley. Now for a clip that's not so much Swan Lake as this swan's irate.
You go down there. Thank you.
Some canal-side drama now between man and majestic swan as the helpful gent attends to the irate parent's stuck cygnet.
All right, don't do that. Don't be silly. Stop it.
The man in red holds off the swan that's seeing red, but needs to be cautious not to injure the baby he's rescuing from this wiry predicament.
They're such protective parents. They're so good.
How will this Swan Lake display pan out with such a domineering swan sticking its beak in?
Come on. Look. Here you are, look. Good boy. All right, come on. Come on, he's coming with you.
The brave hero has amazingly released the fluffy infant. How will the relieved swan thank the spectacled champ? It won't. Not quite the fitting swan song, but it'll do. Hunting traps can leave some of nature's wildest animals in dire need of help. Wow. An apparent lone wolf goes in to help an actual wolf that has become ensnared in a crippling trap. He's a braver person than most. The daring gent is in the unenviable position of dealing with a potentially vicious wolf, but apparently with nothing but a stick for protection. How will this courageous fellow get both the wolf and himself out of the sticky situation safely? Or maybe he's channeling Dances with Wolves, because that looks like a rumba to me. The precarious trap is opened, and surely now the most dangerous bit. Can he get away before the wolf gets up? Obviously didn't gel as dance partners. Don't know about you, but the sight of an animal in need gets me really down in the dumps. I mean, it's amazing what people throw away, but a trio of raccoons, that's a new one on me. How can this rubbish scene be recycled into a winning situation? That's the ticket, or the stick, rather, as this Wonder Woman aims to end the threesome's sticky situation, and whoa, he's desperate to get out of there. And now for her next trick. The lady with the tramps will need something else, as this sheepish pair lack the confidence of their now absent sibling. What else can she pull out of the bag? Time to step it up. Can the cautious pair climb that social ladder out of this stinky garbage? They don't look too sure. Number 2 already out and scampering over the fence. The last one sniffs almost freedom, but ultimately that ladder proved a genius idea as the final raccoon is out of there. Across the world, conservations work tirelessly to help animals in need. Distressing for this beautiful sea turtle and challenging for the expert marine biologists, this unfortunate creature's been released from netting, but what harm has it done? Upon the camera's closer inspection of the turtle's injury, we see the concerned team carefully assess the damage. It's heartbreaking to see such a majestic animal be completely unable to help himself. The biologist carefully treats the sea turtle's horrible neck wound. It's a delicate procedure, and surely their one wish is to save its life. The committed team have successfully navigated their way through the turtle's stormy patch, and he's keen to get back into the water. Look out for nets though, eh? The emergency services hotline is most definitely in full swing, as these muck-loving water buffalo have become royally stuck in this mud bath gone horribly wrong. It's a hard watch, as one of the exhausted-looking buffalo looks imploringly for aid. But as this helpful park ranger approaches, will this buffalo accept help? I think yes, but it's still keen on getting its money's worth out of that mud pack. With rope tethered to the heavy-duty vehicle, it's now or never to see if Operation Buffalo wings it out successfully. Boom! The buffalo is freed and the hero's rewarded by the half-ton animal charging in for a hug. Actually, might be time to get out of there. Start the engine! You'll be fawning over this next clip as a kind-hearted couple come to the aid of a beautiful woodland creature. A single deer seems at loggerheads with a tree trunk's scraggy old net. What is the best way for this wild one to get out of that twist? I'm no professor, but I'd say simply smashing a pickup truck into it wouldn't do the trick. Seriously, can't someone take that guy's keys off him?
Alan's trying to save the deer.
By running it over? Someone needs to have a word with Alan. That must be Alan, who's in a slightly safer driving seat now as the calm deer lets him clip away. Come on, Alan, the clock's ticking here, mate. It seems even the tangled deer thinks this is taking ages. Looks like it's nodded off. Really need to wrap this up, Alan.
Okay, good.
He's only gone and done it. And the deer scarpers. Alan, I should never have doubted you. Around the world, kind men and women work day in and day out to give animals a new start in life. A valiant animal rescue officer on patrol gets closer to what seems to be shy cries. Could the unthinkable, a newborn animal, be in trouble nearby? A helpless puppy alone on a revolting rubbish dump. Could there be a more upsetting sight? An epic relief. The saintly officer gently scoops this pocket-sized pooch from its living hell, with a much-needed drink to quench that thirst, and soapy bubbles to wash away the blues. This now adored animal will be just fine. Next up, ever wondered how the billy goat became gruff? Incredibly dramatic and noisy scenes, as it seems a herd of panicked goats are on a rescue mission by dragging one of their injured flock to get someone's attention. A willing man is filmed quickly removing what seems to be a wire tether that is shockingly strangling the lifeless goat. The heroic man attempts unusual lip service to resuscitate the unresponsive goat. How will we know if this incredible life-saving attempt has worked? That's how! With an unearthly screech, the saved goat is loudly back to life. The giddy goat manages to get back on all fours and scamper back to its herd, wherever they may be. With our next clip in our amazing countdown, it would be fair to say the fate of this animal is far from sealed. What commotion in the ocean, as a panicked seal desperately dashes to safety from hungry killer whales. Not sure who's more scared, the hunted seal or the fella in the shorts. This animal's instincts were right to climb aboard, but its sinister situation is undeniably overwhelming. It looks like those giant killers are never going to give that one up. But what's it doing? Why is it going back in? Has their orchestrated plan paid off? What's the deal, seal? Luckily, it saved its own silky skin and scrambled back on the boat. It seems the coast is clear, and hopefully the animal will make waves in the right direction. This time, ideally away from that wannabe munch bunch. Next, this Joey's been caught in the act and doesn't have a leg to stand on.
It's all right, buddy.
A troubled kangaroo brings new meaning to the phrase down under as it's discovered lying uncomfortably on its side. How can it possibly get out of this? A concerned man equipped with handy pliers gets close to the confined roo. As it becomes clear, the animal's feet are painfully hooked. We're all hooked. Our Ripper hero, in a seeming attempt to gently loosen the tough grip of the outback wires, carefully snips at the strong barrier, thankfully freeing the animal. The liberated kangaroo's ordeal is over, but it may take several moments for the creature to regain the feeling in those strapping legs and, well, hop it. All these amazing animal rescues have left me wondering, is there nothing people won't stop to save? Sadly, no.
Got this bee in my house.
With no regard for her own safety, a woman risks it all by going out to help save a bumblebee. Call 999, we have an emergency. Can the juice be put back into its wings? This bee is lapping it up. I can't help thinking the filmmaker has missed a trick, not adding a Bee Gees soundtrack to these dramatic pictures. Staying alive. No? Work with me, people. I'm no vet, but I'd say it seems better. Not sure how we'll really know. Ah, that's how. It's just flown off. Unbelievable. We're nearly at the end of our catalogue of amazing animal rescues, but don't you go buzzing off anywhere. I've got my eye on you. We're nearly at the end of our collection of the 100 most amazing animal rescues. My heart is warmed and my faith in human nature is restored. And we've still got 12 more videos to watch. Next up, it's every family's worst nightmare.
And I got visible fire in the roof now, plus the back stairwell.
A burning home. Local onlookers gaze at the upsetting scene, which is surely theirs and everyone's worst nightmare. Emergency firefighters must be thinking fast. The situation has quickly escalated as countless emergency workers try to establish if someone or something is trapped in the burning building. A fearless fireman gently places a mystery bundle wrapped in a thick duvet into the waiting arms of brave colleagues. Whatever it is, has it survived? Amazingly, yes, it's the rescued family dog. A horrendous experience, but with much needed TLC, this pup will be Fido fit before you know it. Thank goodness for that. Now hold your horses for our next daring rescue. What a complete mare! A struggling horse is shockingly submerged in extremely thick and treacherous ice, a critical and desperate situation. A glimmer of light as the near-submerged horse seems to have regained some movement. Can they coax her out? Yee-haw, they can.
Good girl.
Our hearts have melted as the rescued horse is welcomed back to the fold. Have you ever fancied yourself as a superhero? I've always wanted to be Superwoman myself. A panicking deer is found trapped in between some small bars. Incredibly, a passerby seems to have super strength, pulling the iron bars apart. The feisty deer hot hooves it, and the Superwoman has saved the day.
What is wrong with this girl?
Or has she? If she's now stumped, what chance do we have of understanding?
Girl. Okay.
Holy cow! Deer. The foolish animal is ridiculously caught again.
This one's harder.
Surely our Wonder Woman wannabe won't be able to pull those much tighter iron bars apart, will she? Nope, she's just going to scare it out of there. Super stuff. Next up, this cat is in a very tight spot. Looks bad, but the intentional use of gentle music suggests this kitty's tale is going to have a happy ending. It could have been mistaken for a bizarre medieval torture, but turned into a laughingstock. The filmmaker got within a whisker's reach of the trapped kitty, closely capturing the delicate rescue. Would this procedure be a knockout? Thanks to the drugs, it would be. The distressed fluffball was carefully calmed. The rescuers stood a chance of putting this kitten's nose out of joint by pushing and prodding it. Would it work? Thankfully, yes, and the furry feline freed. Perfect. Now, quick thinking is the only thing that will help this slow mover. A seemingly helpless sloth, inexplicably flat on its hairy tummy. A far from slow onlooker quickly attends to the immobile sloth, calmly offering the in-need animal a helping hand, which it quickly takes, unusual for a sloth. Understandably, the strange scene is causing intrigue as further witnesses hang about, much like sloths themselves. The ingenious plan is working. I bet that's the fastest he's ever travelled, as the sloth is politely popped into the safety of the shrubbery. Next up, it's been raining cats and, foxes? Quite the storm in a teacup, as it seems 2 forgotten foxes lay lost in a storm drain. Just how will the Cub Scouts channel a route to freedom from this grubby wasteland? As the lid is lifted on the messy mates, it's clear how endangered this species really was, as they seem almost superglued to the side of this forgotten bank. Mercifully, a single scoop relieves number 1, but number 2 looks clearly less enthusiastic about leaving its grotty lodgings.
Ow. I love it.
Obviously, the fox is happy where it is.
No, come on.
So has the rescuer bitten off more than he can chew? Maybe not. But will shoving a giant red finger in the cub's gub really put an end to this foxy playtime and get it under control?
You're very smelly because you've been in this. Do you want your brother?
Well done, sir. That's the cheeky pair safely locked and loaded. If we've learnt anything so far, it's that not all heroes wear capes. But this one has given himself an unusual moniker. Wolf Daddy? Seems we're in for a wild ride with this next rescue. As a husky is living life on the edge of this cliff edge, but must desperately need rescuing. This has got to be a job for the aforementioned Wolf Daddy. The luscious locks and burgeoning muscles can surely only mean one thing. This must be Wolf Daddy. Ow! Having safely made his way down the perilous cliff edge, the brave man entices the troubled pet closer to him, seeming to show it who's the daddy. Crucially, the rescue team begin to leave the dangerous edge, closely holding on to this now safe husky until it's back to its relieved owners.
Don't do that again!
If I were that dog, I'd definitely listen to the wise words of Wolf Daddy. This next poor animal is clinging on for dear life.
313 Boy, 313 AM.
An urgent call is going out to local police officers. What on earth will they find? I've heard of a deer caught in headlights, but a deer caught in a swimming pool is a new one on me. The animal desperately clings on, attempting to survive the difficult situation. The on-duty officer carefully approaches the drenched deer. Can he pull the dazed animal from its watery prison? Obviously trickier than first thought.
Yeah, if you want to help, we can get it out real quick.
The officer calmly requests help, which is very sensible considering the strength needed as they retrieve this poor animal.
There we go. Well,
oh dear. Well, that's rude. Now for another animal that needs throwing a rope, this time literally. A watchful group gather at a huge well as one man goes down into the vast shaft. Is this a hobby? Could it be a sport? The hard-hatted gent goes in deep and seemingly spots something. But what? A shaky close-up reveals a wayward cobra. This has got to be one rattled snake that will need saving by the brave chap. This is an unenviable situation. With one incredibly courageous swoop of stick, the once-trapped cobra is quickly hoisted from its stony ledge. But the rescue isn't over. It's clearly too dangerous to carry the snake up on a stick. He's not out of the danger zone yet. Success! Just what could be wrong with our next animal in angst? A local filmmaker captures a bright and seemingly idyllic scene as we see a grazing cow by a grassy knoll on a picturesque day. Surely there's nothing to worry about here. Far from it. This stricken cow is desperately seeking help. Sadly, the trapped youngster is now under Dave, the filmmaker's less helpful graphics. That must be Dave, who looks like he's stepping in to help dislodge the newborn from the danger zone. Will he succeed with such an agitated mother close by? Shockingly, the electric fence kicks in, but remarkably, Dave soldiers on. And it's all been worth it as both mother and child are thankfully reunited. I'll be watching this next nail-biting clip from behind the sofa. I just don't think I can bear it. Bear it? Sorry.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, pooh. It looks like this animal is not quite as smart as the average bear, and it appears to have got caught scraping the bottom of the barrel, subsequently getting its giant noggin wedged in. Really, how's it going to get out of this bungle? Thankfully, some friendly-looking locals seem keen to tap into this sticky situation and helpfully highlight just how stuck in a rut this poor creature is. Which does make me wonder, was whatever was in that giant tin really a bare necessity for that animal? I hope it was worth it. The rooted beast may hopefully not have to grin and bear it much longer, and with a gentle twist and a little bit of an encouraging shout, it's successfully pulled out of there, lock, stock and barrel. And finally, keep the tissues handy as some adorable pups get a second chance. No, not a poor attempt at an online delivery, but something much more heartbreaking. As a filming Samaritan gets a closer look at this special delivery, tiny puppies. Just how will the caring soul think outside the box and end their ordeal? The pups may have 9 lives as they've fortunately been unwrapped by someone who wants to help. She'll have her hands full though with this bumper bundle she's signed for. Thankfully, the lovely litter was found in time and can be given the nourishment and encouragement needed to survive. Good to see they're like any normal family, scrabbling over who gets seconds. With plenty of love to go around this beautiful bunch, the unboxed brood look forward to the future with those puppy dog eyes. Well, that's the end of our 100 amazing animal rescues. I don't know about you, but I'll be hugging my perfect pooch a little closer tonight. So from me to you and all your furry friends, goodbye.